We're here today at Sugoi Submissions. Explain the name for me.
Awesome. Yeah. So I was in the Marine Corps. I was in the Marine Corps for 20 years, and I was stationed over in Japan. While I was there, I trained with Fujita Yoshihiro. So he's one of Yuki Nakai's black belts up in Hiroshima. The professor that helps me coach here, Jimmy Vonda, he's training up there with him. And I remember someone did like an amazing move, right? And everyone was like, Sugoi ne, Sugoi, Sugoi. Like they were losing their mind, right? I remember, I think it was an Illuminati roll before it was popular, right? Before it was the Illuminati roll. And he's like, oh, Sugoi means like awesome or amazing or whatever. For years, I ended up coming back to the US and then was here for a little while. I got promoted to purple belt by Fujita Yoshihiro when I was out there. And then when I came back, I was taking my son to train and I just couldn't find the right place for him, right? So I contacted Rodrigo Medeiros and Richard Collivan. Right, so Richard Collivan is Rodrigo's second American black belt. And I talked to them and I was like, hey, like I want to open an academy. This is why I want to do it for my family, for my son, you know. And that's how I became part of the JJ Revolution team. And then I was like, Sugoi, like Sugoi Submissions came from. And so I think I opened up in 2015 in New Bern, North Carolina. I was open for a few years and then was the Marine Corps. I had to move to Hawaii. I left it open for another year. One of my blue belts actually ran it. He ran it for me for a year, but then it's just like, you know, as well as he did, it wasn't Sugoi Submissions. You know what I mean? Like I'm Sugoi Submissions, right? Retired from the Marine Corps, ended up moving back to Corpus Christi. This is where I'm from. Right. Leo Cantu, he's one of Draculino's black belts, Gracie Baja. And I'd known him since I was a blue belt and he was a brown belt. You know, and so I was training there consistently. And I decided, I was like, man, you know, I don't think I'm gonna open an academy. And so then I was with Gracie Baja from 2019, 20 to this past year, the end of 2025. Because I just opened up Sugoi Submissions again in 2026. And when I did, I was thinking back, I said, if I'm opening again, I need to go back with my team. I need to go back to where I came from, where my roots are. So I contacted Rodrigo and I told him, hey, you know, this is the deal. What do you think? And he welcomed me back and, you know, we opened up.
Rigo's a great guy. He really is. He's a good guy. He doesn't have, you know, he's got the old school training mindset, but he doesn't have that old school, you know, isolationist sort of mindset, right? So you're Carlson Gracie lineage, right? Revolution team.
Revolution.
Carlson, because Rodrigo's from that. And so where's your school located here in Corpus?
So here it's at 3403 South Padre Island Drive. All right, if you're from the area or you're just like driving on our freeway, you get off on the Castores exit. And then we're literally like 500, 600 feet off the exit on the right side towards South Padre Island.
Okay. And so I'll put a link in the video as well. So that way, if anybody's around in the Corpus area, they can come in. Do you have drop-in fees?
So if you drop in the first time, no, we don't really charge you a drop-in fee. If you start coming in regularly, then, you know, we'll talk about kind of a drop-in. We really want to focus on growing the community and growing jiu-jitsu here in Corpus. There's lots of academies here, and I think that there's lots of good jiu-jitsu. And so what we want to do here is we want to welcome all of that. And so we can develop and grow jiu-jitsu here in Corpus, right? Because, you know, everyone's like, oh, Austin has great jiu-jitsu. Houston has great jiu-jitsu. You know, someday I would like for them to be like, Corpus as a whole has great jiu-jitsu.
Right.
But as a whole, I would love to see the community elevate.
They're all protective. But I know you have, like tonight, you had some guys visiting from another gym. It's the perfect mindset because that's how this sport really grows, is when we're not afraid to share our information and stuff with someone else.
And I'll tell you, the first time I opened up Sugoi Submissions because of my oldest boy, Christian Escobar. Like I told you all the story, I wanted a place where like I was developing the culture to what I felt was appropriate. And the second time I opened it was because of my next son, Angel Garcia. You know what I mean? Because there was just things that, you know, I felt like he needed and we needed to kind of do together. So one of the most beautiful things and the greatest gift, and I'm super thankful to Richard Collivan and Rodrigo Medeiros, because they gave me the gift of jiu-jitsu.
Right.
They really did. And I've been able to give that to my kids.
Being able to share it as a family, we get that a lot. You know, you get the kids that come in and they start training and dad's there all the time or their mom's there all the time, and eventually they sort of get coaxed into it. And when you can share that with your kids, you have that shared, not just a hobby, right? Because jujitsu is so much more than a hobby. I guess for some people it's a hobby, but if you stick with it as long as we've been with it, it's not a hobby. It's a lifestyle. And being able to share that with your kids and have that impart to them those same ideals and those same morals and the strength that comes along with them. That's
I have a lot of support here in the local community. Specifically Jimmy Banda, all right, one of the professors. We were in the Marine Corps together. Man, he's been supportive since day one, since the day I said, hey, I'm thinking about opening it up again. Um, you know, I remember I put it on Facebook. I said, hey, I'm thinking about opening up again. It probably wasn't up on 5 minutes. And Jimmy was on the phone and he was like, hey, dude, I'm gonna help how I can. And then the people coming in and giving us an opportunity and seeing what our training was about.
right. And you got a good wrestling base here as well.
I learned how to wrestle as a purple belt.
Okay.
Once again because of my kid.
Right.
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 Right. I was like, man, like I want him to be successful. He wanted to compete. So we got to wrestle. Like,
Right.
at the time I liked pulling guard. I had just gotten my purple belt from Fujita Yoshihiro in Japan. So like there's a lot of guard playing there. Right. And so I got with this guy named Jamie Yazarski over in North Carolina. And he has a wrestling program still around. It's called Wrestling Warehouse. It's in New Bern, North Carolina.
Nice.
And he would come in and he taught me how to wrestle. He taught my kids how to wrestle. And he taught me how to coach wrestling. The whole get on top, stay on top. But that's our mentality here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're going to out wrestle us, you're going to take us down or whatever. But we're going to fight for the top position. All my students, because whether it's sport or self-defense, it is unlikely that I lose if I am on top.
If all things are equal, the guy on top has the advantage.
For sure.
Because you have to carry my weight, you have to deal with the extra added friction of the ground. It'd be on top.
Yeah, for sure. Like with us, I'm like, no, we're wrestling up. Like wrestle up. Like if you're on your back, it's because they put you there, not because we just like fell. Right. We're either trying to submit or we're trying to sweep. We're not just hanging out, holding someone in our guard, just to hold them in our guard.
So what's your schedule like?
Monday through Friday, it starts off at 6:30 p.m. Okay. And we do a lot of gi and a lot of wrestling. So Monday and Tuesdays, we start off with our gi class. Wednesdays, no gi and wrestling. And then we have comp classes after our gi class. And in the comp classes, we do gi and no gi. As wrestling season gets closer, we're going to be doing a lot more wrestling in the competition classes because I have a lot of high school wrestlers. I prefer black gi, for promotions and for seminars. Okay. But the other day I wore
you had like some leopard print pants or something.
Yeah, I had a leopard gi. I think it's
and a black top.
Yeah,
this is a real fashion faux pas.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was like what do they call it? Come in, have fun. What I care about is a good attitude, working hard and people trying to become the best version of themselves.
Right. And if someone were traveling and they decide they want to drop in, but they don't have a gi, do you have loaner gis or anything like that available?
I do have some gis that I can let them borrow if it'll fit. We'll do no gi. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you, my son's in here with me every night. He trains 3 hours a day. And he'll go no gi with him. You know what I mean? And I want to kind of circle back to when we were talking about, like, training with your kids. Probably the most beautiful thing that I've had with my son is that him and I roll hard against each other now.
Right.
Like he's 15 years old and like I'm not cutting him any slack and he's not cutting me any slack.
Right.
And because he's younger, faster, like he sometimes gets the best in some positions and I love it.
Yep. I'm always like, look, my goal is to make you better than me.
Oh, for sure.
When you start submitting me, I'm happy. Because that means I did my job. I taught you and now you're catching me and things.
I love it. I love seeing my students and the people I work with excel. Really, like, I really want them to be better than me.
If you don't mind talking about what your rates are, your monthly rates?
Yeah, for sure. So, usually we're doing $159 for 2 times a week. But right now, because we are new, right? And I want to grow jiu-jitsu, we're doing a founder's rate where we do a $127 a month,
right?
Unlimited training.
Nice.
And they'll keep that rate as long as they keep their membership.
Especially for 7 days a week and 2 classes a day.
We really welcome everyone to come in and train. If someone drops in and they have this is another big thing, right, in jiu-jitsu, they drop in and they're wearing their patch from their academy. Great, love it. Represent your academy. Like, I have no problems with it. And another thing too is that when you come here and you come from another academy, you don't have to be concerned about us being malicious or trying to hurt you or prove a point. Like, we're going to match energy. We're going to match your vibe. We'll train hard. If you're just flowing, we're going to flow. Like, it's whatever you're looking for.
Yeah. I had a chance and opportunity to sit in with class tonight. So we did the regular class and then we stayed in for the comp class afterwards, and super welcoming environment. A lot of nice people. My wife was training as well. She had a great time, enjoyed everybody that she got a chance to train with. So I highly recommend, if you guys are in the Corpus area, give this guy a shout, man. Come on in here and check it out. Again, I'll put a link in the video for contact information and stuff. I'll link up your social media as well, because I follow you on Instagram. It's Slow Your Roll Travel. We are wrist locking the world one country at a time. And just keep watching. We'll keep putting out videos and information for gyms for people to flow into. And before we go, wrist lock. Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey everybody, if you've appreciated this content and would like to see more of it, please be sure to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment in the comment section below. Let us know if there's a gym you want us to check out when we're traveling the world. Until next time, keep wrist locking.